Alright, here we go with Sun and Moon and Modern, and as much as I want to keep this hand because it has a Gemstone Caverns, it doesn't do anything else, so we're going to mulligan. This hand does, though. Very nice, okay. I like this. We can turn 2 Chalice for 1, we can turn 3 Blood Moon or Wrath the board, and that's good against a wide variety of decks, so we'll see how... Would really like to fear on the play, but we'll see. Our opponent leads on Polluted Delta, huh? I don't know if it's some sort of Delver deck, if it's some sort of combo deck. Imagine we will find out shortly. I love Chalice of the Void. This card's so sweet. And Chalice on 0 is actually like pretty good in Modern in a lot of cases. And just Rex Living End if you ever run into that deck. I say a lot of cases. Some fringe cases where it's good, rather. I have considered boarding it in with Merfolk against Affinity, because you can lock down some of their more busted starts with it on the play. And that matchup's so bad, you really need the help anyways. I think I'm going to get a... I can't. Wanted to just get a Plains, but can't really do that. So we need to probably be able to get Anger of the Gods. It does look like exactly a Grixis Delver deck. Yep, we're going to get our stuff countered here. Such choices, we either... Oh, remanded, and that's fine. Now we get to try a Blood Moon. What land we draw will be very telling here, because we can either choose to have double red for Anger and Chandra, or double white for Wrath. I don't know which is better. Probably double red because of the Chandra, but hopefully we just don't have to make that choice. Plus, I think there's probably more sources of just straight white in the deck than there are red. We'll see. See what he plays here. Nothing, huh? We did not draw a land. I mean, I could just try the Chalice again. I'm not going to, though. The upside of resolving Blood Moon is just too high. Guess I'm getting the Mountain. Yeah, it's just the Wrath, and he hasn't given us a... Like, if this resolves, we don't need to Wrath. I don't think this is going to resolve, but... Shockingly, it did not. Alright, that's fine. Some spells got to get countered. Honestly, it might be better to resolve Chalice for 1 than Blood Moon. I mean, maybe not. Like, obviously, Blood Moon would be insane against him if it resolved, but on that particular turn, if a spell is going to get countered, you know, if Chalice got countered and then he played a Delver or something and we don't draw land, then playing Blood Moon would have actually not been that great. In the long game that seems we're heading to, maybe it's just Grixis Control, not Grixis Delver. In which case, his anger is real bad, but the Planeswalkers are very good if we can resolve them. Cash out almost Chalice for 2 just so we can resolve Planeswalkers. Are we getting Inquisitioned here? Oh, it's a Tassiger. But that's why it's taking a minute. Yep. White, please. Sort of. Don't want that. Do want this. If this resolves, we just give him 1 drop, so it won't matter, so that's good. Or does he have yet another counter spell? Oh my gosh, we just can't resolve anything tonight. Okay. Well, next plan is to try to resolve Nahiri and exile Tassiger. He shocked himself, huh? That can't be good. Well, let's run this one out there into a counter. If he counters it, he can't activate it. Just give him a lightning bolt right now. Or Serum Vision, not Serum Visions. No, there's no Thought Scours over there. Is this going to resolve? If I'd known it was going to resolve a Planeswalker, I would have played Nahiri. But this sucks. I mean, this slows the bleeding. Then we can follow up with Nahiri on this thing. My plan, I assumed it was going to get countered, and he may still be over there contemplating whether or not he wants to cryptic it. In fact, that honestly might be what he's thinking. But I thought it would get countered, and since this doesn't actually kill Tasker, I wanted to protect one of my spells that did, namely Wrath of God or Nahiri. Well, we have a lot of haymakers against his deck. If we just get a broken start with a turn 1 or turn 2 Blood Moon or a turn 1 Chalice in future games here. Alright, we're going to get Snapcaster Mana Leaked, huh? Well, he's down to 2 cards in hand. Well, it did get countered, so that sort of worked out how we wanted. I don't want to play Nahiri next, though. He's still shocking himself. What could that possibly mean? Just has to mean he has counter spells. I am playing Nahiri. Because we're going to have to resolve this Wrath, I think. Well, are we just dead? He's got another counter spell. Okay, I guess we're just dead. We just literally never got to resolve a spell. It felt pretty realistic. Let's sideboard. Alright, cards that are good here. All of these things. Johnny Vengeant, it's pretty good. Honestly, the Planeswalkers are all good. Anger of the Gods are bad. Vanishing Light's pretty good. The Blood Moons are good. The Helixes are pretty bad. They're fine, but they're not great. I kind of like Purge here. Question, we probably don't need all these rest in pieces. If it's just, we didn't see Delvers, and I assume there's not based on how many counterspells we saw. You know, like, some Helixes are good, as long as you just need the life. But Blessed Alliance is probably better at that. I like having the Wrath still. I like what we got here. Question is, do we want these? I didn't really see any discard. I don't suspect there will be any. One Spellskite seems fine. Let me give this a shot. That's a problem this deck has. If you don't just Haymaker somebody and they play a thread, and then, I mean, we've turn 3 counterspell, turn 4 counterspell, turn 5 counterspell, turn 6 dead. Pretty silly. But I do like what we have going here. We just need a broken start. Just turn 1 Chalice for 1. Turn 1 Blood Moon. Turn 2 Blood Moon, you know. That's why it has these Gemstone Caverns and has 2 of them. It's the only deck I've ever seen play 2 Gemstone Caverns because it's actually very important to get out ahead of your opponent because you have Haymakers. The card disadvantage isn't even that bad. It's just important to play your big threats early because if you don't, that happens and you know they put something down and you just never get interact and then you die. So let's see what we can do. We can play turn 2 Planeswalker. I accept. And we have 2 shots at finding a... Well, I say we can't turn 1 anything. Let's hope that turn 2 Chandra is good. Or turn 2 Nahiri or what have you. Opponent mulled to 6. Don't want that. I haven't played a turn 2 Planeswalker since since the doubling season deck. Alright. Watch us get like Spell Pierce here or something. I think we play Nahiri here. And just win the game as soon as possible. If I get Spell Pierce, I'm just gonna flip this YouTube video. Alright. I'll throw away Chandra. Sure. There we go. Turn 2, I have Nahiri on 6. It's no turn 3 win like the Doubling Season Planeswalkers deck, but it's close. Turn 4 win. I think it'll be very hard for him to deal with. He needs... I don't know what he... I mean, he's going to... I feel like he's going to be reduced to... He needs, like, Dreadbore, which he's not going to get fetching a basic island. So he's going to have to start throwing bolts at our Nahiri. A Blood Moon, you say? Well, nope, can't play that. I suspect this is getting remanded. He's dead next turn. So this is not a good look for him. Yep. That means our Blood Moon's going to resolve. Yep, you got Nahiri down to 5. Well, you don't die on turn 3. Turn 4. You are, however, somewhat locked out. No black mana for you this game. And not so much blue mana either. If we find a land in our next 2 draws, we can play Chandra. Yeah, I think we're going to get this one. Oh. Not soon, though. Let's play Blood Moon number 2. Probably doesn't matter, but in some weird world where he ripped Basic Islands and Cryptic Command bounced it or whatever. Snapcaster Bolt. He's trying. Honestly, he might have it if he then just counters our Chandra. That'd be pretty nutty if he fights back to beat the turn 2 Nahiri. Land? Come on, deck. Well, if this resolves, we're still in business. However, even if it does resolve, our Nahiri might be dead. If he draws a bolt or a counterspell, okay, good. Alright, well, in this situation, then, Nahiri can keep pace with Snapcaster. And he can't play Tasker or anything, so I think we're going to be okay because Chalice of the Void resolved. But man, this is close. Closer than I think it should have been. Don't need a Wrath. Don't need Nimmercool either, but we'll get rid of it next turn. Alright, Chandra resolves. I'm just gonna... Well, no, I'm not. Yeah, I am. I'm just gonna kill this. Because basically all he's looking at is if he has another Snapcaster, if I plus it or whatever, he can Snapcaster, kill Nahiri. Just plain... this way, if he had Snapcaster, he can only kill Chandra. Yeah, that's not going to work, man. And I think we got there. All it took was a turn 2 Nahiri, turn 3 Blood Moon, and we still almost lost. But let's try again. Yeah, sure. Seems fine. Maybe the Blessed Alliance, one of the Blessed Alliances should be a Lightning Helix or a Rest in Peace. But you can only play so many Rest in Peace cards against a deck like this where the graveyard is just value and it's not the entire deck like Dredge or whatever. Turn 2 Nahiri felt pretty good. It would have felt horrible if we lost. We almost did. Think of this card's so dumb. You can play turn 1 Assemble the Legion. And I think that would be the dream. If your hand was 1 Plains, 1 Assemble the Legion, 4 Simian Spirit Guides, and whatever else. It can be Emrakul, right? Or you mold to 6. You play a turn 1 Assemble the Legion. I think that might be the dream. Of all the things you can do with this card, like a turn 1 Planeswalker, whatever, I think turn 1 Assemble the Legion would be my dream. Can you play this on turn 1? You can. If you're on the draw and you have Gemstone Caverns, okay? So then you throw away your Gemstone Caverns. 1 land of that, right? So you're starting on 5 cards in hand. You play a Plains. I put you to 4 cards in hand. Those 4 are Simian Spirit Guides. You draw Elspeth for your turn. You could go white off the Plains in the Cavern, exile 4 Simian Spirit Guides, and play turn 1 Elspeth. That's probably the dream. Anyways. Yeah. It's important that you figure out what the dream is, you know. What is the best draw your deck could possibly have? That's the one I want. In the pre-release for Aether Revolt, I think I lived the dream. I was able to put Tezzeret's Touch, which is the 3-mana enchantment that turns an artifact into a 5/5, and when the artifact dies, return it to your hand. I was able to put that on a Sky Sovereign console flagship. That felt a little like living the dream. We're going to keep this one. It got a lot of hate cards. I don't know if we're going to resolve a single hate card, but it's got a lot of them. Get 2 shots at Chalice, rest in peace, etc. Oh, he is playing Delvers. That's probably not good for me. In fact, it's probably horrible for me. I thought he was on Grixis control. Oh, at least he whiffed. Not everybody gets to blind flip Delvers against me. Alright, let's go ahead and run out a spell that's almost certainly not going to resolve. We have a lot of stuff to try, though. We'll start with the Chalice of the Void, but we have a lot to try after that. If this thing flips, we're dead in the next 2 turns. Maybe, well, if it flips his next turn, I think we're going to die. We do not have a hand that can mess around. We boarded out Lightning Helixes. I mean, we have Blessed Alliance still, which is good. And that's one of the reasons why I made that change, just to hedge a little, because Blessed Alliance can kill a Tasigur as well as a Delver. Whereas Helix can only kill one. He's tanking on this. I just Spell Pierce it. I guess that's fine. I think I probably... Depends if he flips it or not. Like, if he flips it, we probably just have to try another Chalice and hope it works. If he does not flip it, I'm just going to play Rest in Peace. So that we can't get Snapcaster countered. Okay, well, we're catching some breaks. Ooh, almost F6 there. In fact, I did F6 there. I think I'm fine with this. Again, I suspect he's going to get countered, which is why I'm trying, but at least he can't get Snapcaster Spell Pierced. Oh, it resolved. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Well, he did have a Snapcaster. Well, that is specifically what I was playing around, and it worked. And we're catching breaks on this Delver. It's now saved us a bunch of life. That said, we're still going to need a land. Gosh, if this Blood Moon is going to resolve. We're just going to die, though. How miserable is that? He actually can't even play anything, but we're just going to die. You gotta be kidding me. Literally, all we had to do was draw 1 land this game to win. Oh, we're just dead on board, yeah. Sure. Literally, all we had to do was draw a land. Well, maybe that's not true. Maybe this would have killed us anyways. Whatever. Play all the hate cards and die. The Ambush Viper playing got us. If last turn, instead of having to play as Blood Moon, I could have played and resolved a Chandra, shot this down, we would have had 3 more life. Yeah. And then he would have had to spend an attack on one of our Chandras, which means he would only be attacking us down to like 8 this turn. Or if he bolted it dead, we'd be down to 6. And then we'd be able to play another Chandra after that. But can't beat your mana base. Good game.